On January 19th, 2014, a YouTube channel called The Bastard Squad uploaded a video titled Getting Stuck in the Tube, Lost John's Cave. What seems like a routine caving expedition quickly became a tense and dangerous ordeal. And for the viewers watching, every second felt like it could be the last. Lost John's Cave, located in England, is known for tight passages and sudden flooding. The Bastard Squad, a small team documented in other exploration videos, enters the cave with cameras in hand, navigating a narrow, water-filled tube. The footage begins calmly, but the tension builds as one member approaches the final stretch of the tunnel. Water rushes past his feet as he squeezes through the narrow passage. Grunting and gasping, he announces he's almost out, but then he gets stuck. The corner presses against his chest, water splashing higher with each passing second. Panic sets in. His voice grows frantic as he calls for help.
Help me! Help!
Another member holds the camera, attempting to pull him free. Scraping sounds echo against the rock walls. The water hisses around them, and the trapped man's breathing grows heavier with each moment. The struggle is almost silent, except for the occasional shout and rush of water, a terrifying contrast to the otherwise calm cave. Slowly, inch by inch, he is pulled backwards to the flooded tunnel. The camera shakes as the rescuer is strained to free him. Just as he clears the narrowest points, the footage cuts to black. There's no final shot of the team exiting, no sign of what happens in the final moments of their escape. According to the comments and uploader replies, the trapped man was eventually freed and survived the ordeal. Viewers were quick to criticize the risky move. One wrote, "Why would anyone try to enter a hole they can't fit in?" Another added, "Just imagine if the water started filling up." The creator replied, "The water was filling up. My suit was already filled with water." The footage is a stark reminder that even with experience, caving is unpredictable, and in the wrong moments, a tight tunnel can become a trap. On January 20th, 2010, a small YouTube channel uploaded its very first video, and only video, titled simply Dangerous Old Mine. It appeared to show nothing more than a man exploring an abandoned cave with his dog, but within minutes, things took a chilling turn, and to this day, no one knows exactly what happened after the camera shut off. The uploader, a man known only by the username Mr. Stan the Man 11, begins the video in good spirits, sitting at the mouth of a mine with his dog Millie. He digs into his backpack, pulling out a bar and an apple, laughing softly as he asks if she enjoyed their little adventure.
And like an old bar. Good dinner, huh? Did you have a good day? You're tired, aren't you?
Outside, the sky was already fading into a deep blue, the kind of light where shadows grow long and shapes in the distance blur. But Millie's attention is fixed on something deeper inside the mine. Without warning, she gets up and walks forward, whining into the darkness. Stan follows, his footsteps crunching over loose dirt, each step echoing unnervingly against the narrow walls. The beam from his flashlight barely cuts through the pitch-black passage ahead. Then Millie begins to bark, short, sharp bursts, before bolting ahead.
Where you going? Hey. Hey.
Her paws scattering loose. Stan calls after her, his voice growing tense.
Millie! Millie! Whoa.
But she disappears into the shadows. His pace quickens, but he can't keep up. In the distance, the light catches movements, something low to the ground, crouched in the passage ahead.
Oh, God.
It makes a short, disturbing noise. Stan freezes for a moment, then suddenly turns and runs. His breathing grows louder, faster, the sound of his boots pounding the dirt in rhythm with the echo of the tunnel. The camera shakes wildly as the cave walls whip past. The faint light of the exit comes into view, but before he reaches it, the video cuts to black. The fate of Millie remains unknown. Stan never uploaded another video, and no follow-up was ever posted. Some viewers claim that the sound in the tunnel matched the growl of a mountain lion, an ambush predator with sharp vision in darkness. Others believe the animal was only defending a fresh kill kill, and that Stan's arrival scared it just enough to let him escape. But without a clear look, we may never know. What we do know is that somewhere in that mine, a loyal dog ran ahead into the dark and never came back.
Hey.
On July 18th, 2020, a YouTube channel known simply as R uploaded a video titled, "Are You Claustrophobic?" filmed deep inside a forest cave in Mexico. The video captures a notorious stretch of the passage called the Blue Crawl, a 150-foot vein of stone that forces explorers to twist their bodies into near impossible shapes just to pass through. For those who suffer from claustrophobia, it's a nightmare made real. The paths are tight but manageable, just narrow enough to brush the walls with their shoulders as they squeeze deeper inside. Eventually, they come across faint writing on the wall. Blue Crawl. To cavers, this name is infamous. It's not just a passage, it's a test. One that demands complete control over both body and mind. One member kneels at the opening, carefully mapping out how he'll position his arms. One stretched forward, the other passed tightly behind him. With a deep breath, he lowers himself into the narrow tunnel.
Giving you perspective of what it's like over here. Some parts, the helmet will likely come off. Some parts.
His helmet light flickers against the jagged walls. The camera captures the sound of his gear scraping against stone as he pushes forward inch by inch. His voice remains calm, almost disturbingly calm, as he mutters,
I don't know. You have to be one with the rock, ladies and gentlemen. One with the rock.
Okay, let's go to Mr. Woman.
Alright, I might turn this back on. Maybe not. I'll see.
Behind him, his partner follows. The two people press into the vein like puzzle pieces, with no room to spare. The air feels heavier the deeper they go. Their grunts and the sound of strained breathing fill the darkness as the tunnel tightens around them. Every movement echoes sharply, helmets clashing against rock, boots dragging through gravel. At one point, the caver pauses, his chest pressed up against hard stone, his breathing shallow. For a moment, it feels as if he won't be able to move forward or backward. But with steady control, he inches through, finally breaking into the wider chamber on the other side. Both people made it through safely, but as viewers pointed out, if either had become stuck, the pair would have been trapped in a nearly deadly choke point, with no hope of rescue. In the comments, one user wrote, "Oh my gosh, can you imagine trying to get out and the person in front of you gets stuck?" Another chimed in, "I would instantly start crying out of panic. Just a foot in and I'd be freaking out." The pair escaped unharmed, and the channel continued posting more exploration videos. But the Blue Crawl remains one of the most claustrophobic caving passages ever documented. Watching someone remain calm in a space barely wide enough for human bone to pass through is a chilling reminder of how thin the line is between survival and disaster.
Alright, I might turn this back on. Maybe not.
On November 3rd, 2023, a YouTuber known as the Mineral Dude uploaded a video titled, "I Almost Died in a Cave," filmed inside what's known locally as Demolition Ranch's water cave. The footage shows a group of friends heading underground, laughing and joking, as if they were just on another adventure. But within minutes, their fun gave way to panic, and things turned deadly, and one of them nearly never made it back out. The group, Mineral Dude, along with his friends, Alex, Edward, James, and Ryan, begin their descent with spirits high. Their helmets slice through the darkness, illuminating tunnels already half flooded with water. Almost immediately, the cave forces them to submerged passages, narrow corridors where the water rises to their heads, forcing them to swim blindly through the pitch-black stone. For several minutes, the men push through chamber after chamber, laughing nervously as how extreme the conditions are. But then the mood changes. A sudden surge of water slams into the Mineral Dude, collapsing the tiny air gap above him. He's shoved underwater, inhaling 3 panicked gulps of murky cave water. The camera jerks violently, dipping beneath the surface. His muffled grunts and choking breaths echo in the darkness, warped by the stone walls. Blinded and thrashing, he hit his head against the jagged ceiling in desperation. The dim light flickers, scattering across the cave like a dying candle. Water crashes against the lens, His voice is distorted and barely audible. For a moment, it looks and sounds like the footage is capturing his last seconds alive. But somehow, through sheer will, Mineral Dude claws upward, breaking the surface with a gasping choke. Now bleeding from his head, he staggers forward, clutching stone for balance. And then, unbelievably, he cracks a joke, brushing off the fact that he'd come inches away from drowning. Despite the close call, the group presses forward, pressing themselves against the final filled water tunnels. Finally, daylight appears, and they crawl out, alive but shaken. Outside, Mineral Dude turns to the camera, admitting just how close he came for never making it out. Viewers were quick to call out the danger. One wrote, "You need cave divers for this kind of thing. Helmets may look goofy, but imagine busting your head open underwater, where no one can reach you." Another warned, "Your overconfidence could have killed someone. One panic underwater can end in not only your life, but your friends too." That day, no one died, but the footage makes it clear how close they came. All it would have taken was one more seconds underwater, or one friend's caught in his panic, and the story would have ended in tragedy. Instead, they walked away with only one head wound, and a reminder that in caving, survival comes down to inches and breaths.